Respect, mother.
ギフトベラ石からは絶対脱出不可能だ。ギフトリング。
in stereo. I can tell that you've never been true to me.
Probably a jackass.
Oh my god, is it just me or is it lagging horrible?
Let's get me out of here, bro. Get me out.
It can't just be me, right?
It's lagging horribly, bro. Just get me out of here.
Austin! For the love of God, if all my shit crashes because of you, bro. You don't know how long it takes me to set this fucking shit up, bro. I can't even pick them up. Oh my god. Let's load back in, guys.
Nice to meet y'all. Yo. Oh, it's glitching.
Are you?
What it is? This your?
Hey, I mean, interrupt no, dude. I'll give you the trifle right now.
What the f***? Who's that?
Marlons.
Oh. Nice to meet y'all. Yo. Oh, it's glitching.
Are you?
What it is? This your?
Hey, I mean, interrupt no, dude. I'll give you the trifle right now.
What the f***? Who's that?
Marlons.
Oh. Nice to meet y'all. Yo. Oh, glitching.
Are you?
What it is? This your?
Hey, I mean, interrupt no, dude. I'll give you the trifle right now.
What the f***? Who's that?
Marlons.
Oh. Nice to meet y'all. Yo. Oh, glitching.
Are you?
What it is? This your?
Hey, I mean, interrupt no, dude. I'll give you the trifle right now.
What the f***? Who's that?
Marlons.
Oh. Nice to meet y'all. Yo. Oh, glitching.
Are you?
What it is? This your?
Hey, I mean, interrupt no, dude. I'll give you the trifle right now.
What the f***? Who's that?
Marlons.
Oh. Nice to meet y'all. Yo. Oh, glitching.
Are you?
What it is? This your?
Hey, I mean, interrupt no, dude. I'll give you the trifle right now.
What the f***? Who's that?
Marlons.
Oh. Nice to meet y'all. Yo. Oh, glitching.
Are you?
What it is? This your?
Hey, I mean, interrupt no, dude. I'll give you the trifle right now.
What the f***? Who's that?
Marlons.
Oh. Nice to meet y'all. Yo. Oh, glitching.
Are you?
What it is? This your?
Hey, I mean, interrupt no, dude. I'll give you the trifle right now.
What the f***? Who's that? Oh. Nice to meet y'all. Yo.
Are you?
What it is? This your?
Hey, I mean, interrupt no, dude. I'll give you the trifle right now.
What the f***? Who's that?
Marlons.
Oh. Nice to meet y'all. Yo. Oh, glitching.
Are you?
What it is? This your?
Hey, I mean, interrupt no, dude. I'll give you the trifle right now.
What the f***? Who's that?
Marlons.
Oh. Nice to meet y'all. Yo. Oh, glitching.
Are you?
What it is? This your?
Hey, I mean, interrupt no, dude. I'll give you the trifle right now.
What the f***? Who's that?
Marlons.
Oh. Nice to meet y'all. Yo. Oh, glitching.
Are you?
What it is? This your?
Hey, I mean to interrupt nothing. I'll give you the trifle right now.
What the f***? Who's that?
Marta Marlons.
Oh. Nice to meet y'all. Yo.
Oh.
Glitchy.
Are you?
What is this? This your
Hey, I mean to interrupt nothing. I'll give you the trifle right now.
What the f***? Who's that?
Marta Marlons.
Oh. Nice to meet y'all. Yo.
Oh.
Glitchy.
Are you?
What is this? This your
Hey, I mean to interrupt nothing. I'll give you the trifle right now.
What the f***? Who's that?
Marta Marlons.
Oh. Nice to meet y'all. Yo.
Oh.
Glitchy.
Are you?
What is this? This your
Hey, I mean to interrupt nothing. I'll give you the trifle right now.
What the f***? Who's that?
Marta Marlons.
Nice to meet y'all. Yo.
Oh.
Glitchy.
Are you?
What is this? This your
Hey, I mean to interrupt nothing. I'll give you the trifle right now.
What the f***? Who's that?
By the Marlons.
Miss, you wanna go fancy steakhouse? We ain't into the beef, that's lame now. I don't wanna be locked in, no bailout. Miss, this in a jailhouse. Back then, this, that, watch, that's played out. She came out, Jack in a box. She wanna go uptown. I'm up now. You know I ain't smashing a foot. Bros trapping a lot. No, I ain't did that. Still got love for my dog, no ridgeback. His thing's my thing and I still wouldn't hit that. If you got CCs, then I would ping that. She's mad, I'm living my dream, sat in a V. Oi, miss, no, it don't come cheap. Man don't know about grinding peak. I worked all year now, I can't even sleep. Them days over, now that I've blown up, I make a bag from my post with ease. Talk about spray, Mr. Sheen, been in this scene. What about them, man? I've been doing this 8 years deep. They wouldn't know cause they didn't respect, man. Miss, you wanna go fancy steakhouse? We ain't into the beef, that's lame now. I don't wanna be locked in, no bailout. Miss, this in a jailhouse. Back then, this, that, watch, that's played out. She came out, Jack in a box. She wanna go uptown. I'm up now. You know I ain't smashing a foot. Let's get back to the bad one. Shorty's good on a mad one. She's in her 20s and she called me her grandson. I'm young with a grown man, bag you ain't had one. You think that I'm handsome? Shade out ass one time like stallion. Babe, I like how you shade that ass. Keep doing that tutu dance. Please don't bring them negative vibes. I say goodbye and I'm leaving the yard. They prayed on my downfall, so I went hard. My teacher's part, but I went viral, making their students laugh. I pushed 3 songs on the UK charts. Miss, you wanna go fancy steakhouse? We ain't into the beef, that's lame now. I don't wanna be locked in, no bailout. Miss, this in a jailhouse. Back then, this, that, watch, that's played out. She came out, Jack in a box. She wanna go uptown. I'm up now. You know I ain't smashing a foot.
What do you mean no, bro? Bro, get out of here, man. Bro, get out of here. Bro, get out of here. You're getting me mad now, bro. Get out, bro. Move. So you got skin marks.
Somebody tell Doja Cat that I'm trying to indulge in that. Somebody tell Doja Cat like I'm trying to indulge in that. Man, tracksuit, but more than that. Somebody tell Doja Cat. Somebody tell Doja Cat. Oh, I'm trying to indulge in that. Somebody tell Doja Cat that I am trying to indulge in that, like big man tracksuit, indulge in that. My power unmatched. Like somebody tell Doja Cat like none of that. Like I'm trying to indulge in that big man tracksuit, Doja Cat. Yeah, I'm trying to indulge in that. Somebody tell Doja Cat that I am trying to indulge in that. Somebody tell Doja Cat that I am trying to indulge in that. Somebody tell Doja Cat like I'm trying to indulge in that big man tracksuit.
Do you think men can give birth?
I think that.
Yes or no question?
I think that a person who is assigned male at birth, I don't think they can give
Assigned
birth.
male at birth, so people are not male at birth?
I think that a person.
See, your evidence that college is a scam, my friend.
So what do you say in some cases women with IUDs are murderers?
Of course not, they're not murderers. We
So
do
what's
not
the
know-
difference between an IUD killing a conceived zygote
Because-
and like a mother going to Planned Parenthood and killing the fetus in her womb?
That was actually the best point somebody made.
It's not about the cells.
No,
It's not about. No. I'm
I know,
speaking.
we're-
No,
we're-
I'm speaking. No,
We're-
I'm.
we're
Sp- Speaking.
Clumps
No,
of
I'm
cells,
speaking.
okay?
No, I'm speaking.
And taking another life. Do we agree with that? And taking another life. Do we agree with that?
Okay.
Okay, and then we agree that murder in general in society should be illegal.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So yeah, no, I do want to preface that I'm a Catholic.
Okay.
So I think one really important thing that the Bible says is to not judge. And just going back to the topic, I think there's a big difference between, cells in utero than a living, breathing, existing being. And while I do believe it's murder, and that's just my personal belief, right? I don't believe in telling people what to do with their bodies. That's not up to me, and it's not up to us as well as to Christians
But-
to judge.
Should we prevent murder in society?
For sure, yeah.
Then it should be illegal.
But I think that it's really different, right? Because, these people aren't.
Sorry, nice to meet you. Okay, what's your name?
Naima.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, can I just ask, at how many weeks do you think that a fetus is viable?
Well, viability and moral worth are two different things.
No, but I'm asking you, at how many weeks do
Well,
you think
at
a
about
fetus
20
is viable?
weeks, a baby can survive outside of utero.
So it's actually 24 to 26
Well, it's
weeks?
20. The youngest ever in a NICU unit actually happened in San Diego, not far from here, and survived at 20 weeks.
Okay, so under Roe v. Wade, 93% of abortions happened in the first 13 weeks of pregnancy. That's 93% of the abortions happened well before a fetus is technically viable as
Sure.
a form
so
of life.
let's go into viability. So what is it about, let's say, a 6-week baby that has a heartbeat, its own DNA, fingerprint, brain waves, that is less moral worth than an 88-year-old right now with dementia in a home down the street? That person requires assistance, requires help. Why is it that the 6-week baby is of less moral worth?
Well, first of all, it's not a baby, it's a fetus.
What does fetus mean?
A fetus is in utero.
What does fetus mean in Latin?
What the I'm sorry,
It
it's
means
this.
less moral worth. Requires assistance, requires help. Why is it that the 6-week baby is of less moral worth?
Well, first of all, it's not a baby, it's a fetus.
What does fetus mean?
A fetus is in utero.
What does fetus mean in Latin?
I'm sorry.
It means little human being.
Okay,
Smiling is creepy?
No, your smile specifically.
Got it.
But let's go
So-
back to,
so-
we're losing track here.
No, but is it, what species is the fetus?
The fetus is not a species yet. It's technically classified as a parasite
No.
until it is
wow.
viable.
So,
no, I want to talk to you about something very quickly.
I can't let you get past that. Are you
I'm
saying
sorry.
you're saying a baby is a disease or a tumor?
A parasite is not a disease and a tumor. Those are not the same thing. A
A
parasite
parasite.
is defined as something that cannot survive outside of its host. A baby, before it is viable, cannot survive outside of a woman's womb.
Got it. So let's
Therefore,
extrapolate that.
It is not a living organism.
Are old people with Alzheimer's and dementia that are being assisted every day, are they parasites?
No, they're not parasites. They're human beings who are on the brink of death.
Got it. So my
They're not going to be
my
able to survive.
4-month-old that requires mom's breast milk and requires daily changes and feedings cannot survive without its own. Is my 4-month-old a parasite?
Your baby can breathe on its own. Your baby can drink water from its mouth to its stomach.
But it cannot.
Your baby can
Can
eat
it hunt?
food.
Can it gather? Can it reason?
But that's not what qualifies something as being
okay,
a
so
living organism.
let's
Being a
get
living
back to
organism
terms.
simply means, can you survive outside of a womb, outside of your host?
Got it. So I just want to make sure I'm clear. Why does that then equate to moral viability?
It equates to scientific viability.
Why? Under what standard?
Because it is not alive, and you are advocating for the rights of something that is not technically a life,
Got it. So what is
while
that has-
sacrificing the needs of the human woman who is alive.
Got it. So, but a mom can survive
Yes.
without the baby in her,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yes.
The baby cannot survive without the mom.
Yes.
But a mom cannot survive without her lungs. So it's not her body, it's in her body. It's not
Yeah,
her
I
DNA, so
know.
it's not her choice. So it's a,
It actually is directly her DNA.
it's
It is 100%. It's 50% of her DNA.
half her DNA. It's gonna win, I'm telling you. This could take a while.
Okay, first of all,
Do we have our terms correct? We agree?
Actually, no. So first
Okay,
of all,
got
I
it.
would like to refine our terms. I
Got
have
it.
2 points to bring up after that, though. So you define murder as like intentionally like killing a human being.
Mhm.
I think that's a very poor way to define murder because if someone were to like break into my home and point a gun at the heads of me and everybody I love, and I intentionally kill them to prevent them from from killing my family, I don't think I murdered them, right? So I would define murder as the unjustified termination of a human life.
You're making a good point. Let me further clarify that. So, self-defense is
Right.
very warranted.
Exactly, right?
But I can see where you're going to go with how that has to go with abortion, but we can go down that
Yeah.
journey in a second.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I kind of do want to give you my argument insofar as why I'm pro-choice, why I think it's justified. But first, I think that, you know, your position is quite absurd, right? Because you're saying that it is murder to kill a human being, right, at any point in development, especially when it's in the mother's womb. My question to you would be, well, does this make women with IUDs murderers? Because it is the case that in some scenarios, an IUD will allow for conception to occur, meaning there's a unique human life there, but it will prevent its implantation, intentionally killing it.
Well, no, preventing implantation is not necessarily the same thing as terminating a fertilized egg. For example, you take Plan B. Again, it's not the same thing. Preventing the production of progesterone is not the same thing as terminating a being that has been fertilized. You do not know for a fact that the egg has been fertilized. You do not know that when you have an IUD.
Okay, yeah,
Do you?
so preventing fertilization or implantation to the uterine lining is killing a conceived zygote. So what happens? A sperm goes into the egg, right? The egg becomes fertilized. It's a conceived zygote. In some cases, it will prevent the implantation of the conceived zygote, killing the conceived zygote.
In some cases, correct.
So what do you say in some cases,
Well,
women
no,
with
not-
IUDs are murderers?
Of course not, they're not murderers. We do not know for a case. That's like saying that
So
everyone
what's
that
the
takes-
difference between an IUD killing a conceived zygote and
Because-
like a mother going to Planned Parenthood and killing the fetus in her womb?
Well, so you're asking two separate things. If they knew for certain, to be more clear, that I have a fertilized egg and I'm going to take a drug to prevent that fertilized egg from attaching to their uterine wall, then yes, that is an act of killing or murder, of course.
Okay, so
But-
do you
but
think
you
all
do-
murderers should go to jail?
Do I think all murderers should go to jail? I mean, on third degree murder. However, no, I don't think women that got abortions or had IUDs should go to jail because I think that they have been deceived by mass culture and mass propaganda. Secondly, the people who should go to jail are the abortionists, who are the ones that have been putting the abortion pill, the ones that have been doing procedures, the ones that have been going into the third trimester and breaking babies' backs and inserting them with syringes while the babies are crying and suffocating, being born alive, and then being dead on the operating table.
Okay.
That is who should go to jail.
Oh.
That was actually the best one somebody did. I know.
Okay, whenever I'm talking about this discussion, I always go to the question of what about in the case of the mother when her life is in danger? Because I'm a big believer. I don't know. I'm still iffy on if I think it's or if it's murder or not. But even so, I mean, I don't want to say murder is justified. Guys, wait. Let me just get this one point, and then you can vote me out. Give me 1 second. Say the mother gets pregnant, and she knows that if she gives birth, she's gonna die. She has some kind of health complication. Then what do you do in that
Cesarean
case?
section.
I don't know what that means.
It's a C-section. They
Oh,
do
cesarean
an
section.
insert.
Guys, wait,
right-
hold on. Just give me one second.
They go right below the belly button and they deliver the baby. And after she doesn't have to give birth, it's technically birth, but it's much safer. So that's actually safer than an abortion procedure. Sorry, Lily. Hello, how are you?
Hi.
What's your name?
Deedon.
Nice to meet you.
I would say with abortion, I think it's very complicated, but I think the issue that I have, primarily with your stance of being pro-life, that there's no nuance. There's women who are being forced to travel hundreds of miles to access abortion care, even in cases of rape in certain states that they're not giving any sort of allowance for that. And I think, a lot of people who are pro-life, they say that they're pro-life, but I feel like they're really pro-birth because with firearms, the United States has some of the highest firearm deaths out of OECD nations, right? And we can acknowledge that that's for children who are actually living and breathing. So I feel like abortion, while yeah, it is, I can definitely see your point. I just think that it should be allowed in some circumstances.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I'm happy to get into the gun violence stuff later, but I want to really stay focused on abortion.
Right.
You can say you see my point. Can you see the world also where, since we know it's a human life, that it should be illegal since we don't allow murder in our society?
Well, that's where I have an issue because abortion is not being done willy nilly. It's like the life of the mother is always.
How many abortions do you think we have every day in America? Just guess.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Guess.
I'm honestly not sure. Maybe I don't know, 1,000.
4,000 a day. So
4,000.
it is kind of willy nilly. We have 1.6. Sorry. Hello.
I just want to clarify, the thing that you're aiming for is less abortion, right? That would be what you would want, or at least no abortion.
Eventually, it's also a protection of those that can't protect themselves. But yes, and that's why once we after reversal Roe versus Wade, we saw abortions go down dramatically in Texas, Alabama, Mississippi. We saw thousands of babies that are now alive and well that are able to have amazing lives thanks to the reversal of Roe versus Wade.
I don't think a lot of that is true.
Well, it is, but
it's not true because when you make abortion illegal, it doesn't actually decrease the amount of abortions that happen.
That's a nice talking point. In Texas, the numbers show differently. The birth rate has gone up.
Yeah, legal goes down, but illegal abortions still happen. Abortions still happen outside of whatever data you're showing.
That's not true, but let's just say so. Well, if you
40?
you want to, well, first of all, you count the abortion pill, you're right, but that's a separate thing than a chemical abortion and surgical abortion are different things. And I'm not debating. I'm not debating you. I'm debating her. So if you want to do the flags and come back in, try and be faster next time. So let me ask you this. So the question is, we should try to limit unjust suffering of human beings, right?
Sure.
Okay, that's my position, is that there's unjust suffering of anywhere between 1.4 to 1.6 million abortions a year of human beings that are being massacred in the womb. And so that's not a woman's rights issue, that's not a men's rights issue, that's just a human rights issue.
Okay, the best way to decrease abortions happening is proper sex education. Limiting abortion and making abortion illegal does not actually decrease the amount of abortions that happen.
So what is your evidence of that?
What is my evidence of that?
Because we have increased sex education in the last 30 years.
Our sex education is so bad in America.
Well, by bad, what do you mean by that? We have more access to birth control for young kids. We have more kids that are learning to use birth control at a younger age. We have more of that in our public school system, and we've seen all the trends actually go in a negative direction. So, in fact, we see that the more sex education there is, the more disturbing those trends are. So you say that, let me ask just one more thing. You say that if we make abortion illegal, people will still do it. Should we then just make gang violence legal because
No, I'm saying if you
actually
actually wanted to decrease the amount of abortions that happen, you wouldn't be advocating for to make abortion illegal. You'd be advocating for all of these other things.
Does that logic apply to stealing, looting, kidnapping, arson, and murder?
Well, actually it does, because those are results of different societal issues that you should be educating yourself on rather than making it illegal on the front.
Should we make kidnapping, arson, burglary, murder legal because they're symptoms of something else?
We should be helping society heal from those
things. You gotta answer the question. We want less of those things. Do we just make them legal and we'll get less looting?
You know, actually, I'm gonna let someone else.
Thank you very much. Hi, Parker. Nice to meet you. Yes.
Nice to meet you, Charlie.
Big TikTok guy here.
So, like, pedophiles, people who were married to children in the past and normalized in that society, should they go to prison?
Pedophiles.
Like, if you could go back in time, would you put those pedophiles in prison that married those children because it was normalized? They were deceived into thinking it's okay. Would you put them in prison?
You gotta slow down.
Sorry.
Pedophiles should get the death penalty.
No, so you'd go back in the past, you'd give them the death penalty even though they were deceived into thinking it was okay? But you said people who get abortions who are women shouldn't go to prison.
But it's not currently illegal.
Okay, regardless.
Pedophilia
at that time it wasn't.
No, I would not go back and retroactively enforce laws where things were currently not illegal.
You wouldn't put pedophiles in prison in the past.
Hold on a second. When was it illegal? When was it legal in America?
Well, child marriage was legal in America throughout the early 1900s and especially throughout most of society for thousands of years, especially in the Old Testament and in the Bible. Right?
Well, hold on a second. So, where is the Levitical law that allows you to marry a child?
Oh, yeah.
Can you name the verse?
Well, I can't name the verse, but the particular conditions that are listed in the Bible are that you have to be physical maturity and emotional maturity, which is extremely vague and throughout society has been seen to be met at puberty.
There is not a verse, but let's kind of go
back. Okay, so when is the age of consent
abortion.
under your view?
Let's go back to, generally agreed upon, it's 18 years old. But let me ask you
But you, because you don't go based on what's generally agreed, you go based on the Bible.
I say 18 years old, but let me ask you a question.
Where's that in the Bible?
When does life begin?
Conception.
Conception, great. So good. So should we protect all life at conception?
I care about sentient life, not
sentient.
cellular
So
life.
when do brainwaves start?
Do you think brain dead people should be able to pull the plug on, like a family should be able to pull the plug on an individual in the family that's brain dead?
You gotta answer the question. When do brainwaves start?
You can see brainwaves around 6 to 8 weeks, which in brain dead individual there are brainwaves as well. So the brainwaves necessary to produce a subjective experience are met until around 18 through 26 weeks in the womb.
Can you see it from my perspective? that at 6 to 8 weeks, those brain waves will actually increase, not decrease, if allowed the process of development to continue.
Did you know those same EEG scans exist in brain dead people that you don't think are sentient?
No, but the difference with the brain dead people is that the likelihood of those brain waves actually increasing is very low at 6 to 8 weeks, when by 15 weeks they can hear the mom's
impossible.
voice.
It's irreversible sensation. That's what brain death is.
Hold on, but
didn't know that.
But no,
it's not coma.
But you're doing a red herring. Go back to
no, it's not. What's a red herring?
A red herring is where you avoid the topic and you say something that is adjacent or symmetrical, what I'm saying, but not actually I'm saying.
You mean a reductio ad absurdum? That's not a red herring.
A 6 to 8 week baby, if they're allowed to continue to develop, what ends up happening?
At a certain point, it will become a sentient being in the future. The same way that if I keep engaging in sex with my girlfriend, it'll be a baby in the future. Yet I don't care about the
unless
sperm.
you're infertile, which we don't know. But let's see the process of development, right? Why
do you want to answer my question yet?
Why do you have the ability or the right?
Should those child P3s go to prison?
The process of
should the pedophiles go to prison?
From 1904. How many pedophiles are alive in 1904?
They're not alive, right? I meant like if you can go back in the past, hypothetically speaking, and you could put them in prison. Would you put them in prison?
I would have killed them myself if I was alive.
Okay, so then you don't apply it based upon what people are deceived to believe. You apply it based upon what you consider to be moral. So the women who had abortions, you think they should go to prison. So why should women who get abortions go to prison, but someone like my mom who told me that Santa Claus exists shouldn't go to prison because they're both sent?
This is not going to be a constructive debate if you keep on talking over me.
Well, I was finishing my statement. You were talking over me. But go for it.
Let me ask you a very simple question. Do you think it would be a good thing if we had less abortions in America?
It depends on the context. Like, are the abortions prior to sentience?
Yes.
Because I think
all abortions.
No, it would not be necessarily
are
better
you against
unless it is the
late-term
case of the people didn't want the abortions and it would be negatively impactful to their health medically speaking.
Are you against late-term abortion?
After sentience, yes.
Okay, so you believe in an 8-week abortion ban?
Yeah. No, I don't. Sorry, I believe in an abortion ban after 18 through 26 weeks.
Okay, that's a more reasonable position. I have to give you credit for that.
It's similar to Trump's. 15 weeks?
Yeah, so why do you think that most people don't share your view on that?
Well, people just don't really know what sentience is. There's not a lot of conversation about abortion, and these conversations are very difficult. Like they're conceptually hard to go through, and I understand why a lot of people don't understand their positions on it.
So
but I think people
you
have.
Are where most
you're cutting me off.
Americans
I thought we weren't cutting people off.
I was actually complimenting you. How are you? Nice to see you.
So I just have one question. There's, like, in any case, you don't think there's any case where abortion should be legal?
There's a very, very rare couple cases.
Okay, so you do think that a couple cases it is legal?
If cesarean section is not going to save the mother's life, and the mother's life is actually at risk, which is debated amongst growing numbers of OBGYNs, that is the only case where abortion should be allowed.
Think there
but people say it is a growing consensus in the pro-life world that abortion is never medically necessary.
Okay, so if you had a daughter and she was 10 and she got raped, and she was gonna give birth and she would and she was gonna give birth and she was gonna live, would you want her to go through that and carry her baby?
That's awfully graphic.
But it's a real life scenario that happens to many people.
The answer is yes, the baby would be delivered.
Oh, okay, great. So that's insane.
But let me tell you why. No, hold on. Let me ask you a question. There's 2 ultrasounds. One is a baby conceived in. One is a baby conceived by a loving couple. Which one is which?
Your daughter was probably hopefully conceived by a somewhat loving couple.
Conceived by? Tell me which one was conceived by.
You don't know.
Exactly, because it's all human rights
but
and it's all human beings.
But that doesn't matter. It's about your daughter who has to give birth to it and is going to be tortured by that for the rest of her life. That's going to take away every freedom she's ever going to have. That's going to ruin her life. She's going to grow up and she's going to be attached to another thing.
The point is how you were conceived is irrelevant. What human rights you get.
But
hold on 1 second. If a person conceived in walks down the side of the street, it's not like they don't get First Amendment rights or Second Amendment rights.
It's not about that person.
The worst thing to do to the daughter is to then say, hey, we're going to go murder the being inside of you.
They wouldn't even know. Like, listen.
They wouldn't know?
Listen.
But wouldn't it be a better story to say something evil happened and we do something good in the face of evil instead of saying we're going to do evil and then murder the being because we're going to pander to the evil? No. What makes the West great is that we do good after evil, not evil after evil.
It's not about the being in the cells.
No,
it's not about. No. I'm speaking. I'm speaking. I'm speaking. I'm speaking. I'm speaking. Thank you. So it's not. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the person. No. I'm talking about the person who is dealing with the pregnancy. I am not talking about the cells. I don't care. No, listen. The fetus, the whatever. I don't care about that right now until it is formed. If there is a 5-year-old child who is pregnant and the baby is 2 weeks in utero,
can't get pregnant.
actually they have given birth. There is
5-year-olds have given pregnant.
There is one recorded case of a 5-year-old girl who gave birth.
Is that common?
Yes, it's common for 5-year-olds get sometimes, and if they get pregnant, I think they should be able to have medical access to something that could save not only just their life, but like their livelihood.
How many, I'm curious.
I hope your daughter lives a very happy life and gets away from you.
Okay, so that is really nasty. And so her belief system, just so we're clear, is that, yeah, no, I got it, it's fine. I mean, it's really nasty, and we'll talk again. My next claim is that college is a scam.
Hello.
What's your name?
I'm Maddox. How are you doing?
Good.
So, college is a scam.
Well, let's define our terms. College being traditional four-year college.
Of course.
University, community college, technical college.
Of course.
A scam, if we can agree on a definition, is where a majority of people who will go through the institution or business, they're not getting their money's worth, their time's worth, and they're being deceived.
Well, what would further definitions? What do you think is the purpose of going to college?
The purpose of college should be traditional liberal arts education, pursuit of what is good, true, and beautiful. That's not what it is. Nurturing your character, becoming a better citizen, understanding the deeper things in life. At the very least, though, it should be preparing one for the job market. Do you think college does those things?
I think it does, but I would add on to your point that I think not only is it for the betterment of yourself, but it's for the betterment of society. We need historians. We need certain majors that may not make as much money. I think those are for the betterment of society. Would you agree that there's some majors that may not make money, but are still essential to society?
It depends. Do you think that getting a degree in gender studies is good for society?
I would agree, yeah. Why would studying gender not be good for society?
Well, learning that men can give birth is not exactly a good use of time.
Is that what they're teaching in college right now?
A lot of colleges, yeah. According to the Center for Disease Control, they no longer say women can give birth, they say birthing persons.
Okay.
Do you think men can give birth?
Do I think men can give birth? I think that...
yes or no question?
I think that a person who is assigned male at birth, I don't think they can give birth.
Assigned male at birth? So people are not male at birth?
I think that a person...
See, your evidence that college is a scam, my friend.
College is a scam?
You're lacking in a lot of wisdom.
Well, here, we can continue right now. So, gender studies, do you think that studying gender is not essential? Should we not deepen our understanding
of gender?
I
don't think gender... We're going to get there later. I don't think gender exists. I think that there are two sexes, infinite personalities, and no genders. However, let's get back to the core contention.
Well, here, can I ask my question again real quick?
Well, I'm going to get back to my core contention. A scam. So the majority of kids that go to college, if they end up getting a job at all, they end up getting a job that does not require a college degree.
Do you think that certain jobs that may not associate with a direct major can incorporate skills that you learn from a major? I think I'm an econ major, and depending on what job I do in the future, I can still use the skills learned from that.
Tell me about Milton Friedman.
Tell me about Milton Friedman. He is an economist from...
How about Thomas Sowell?
Thomas Sowell.
Ludwig von Mises.
Well, I will say that I'm a first
How about
I'd love to see you answer the gender studies.
We will get there later. That's what psychedelics are for. Who's next?
Well, I think it's difficult to think about just one major, thinking about just gender studies. Like, sure, like, not everyone should be a gender studies major. We need doctors, we need lawyers, we need everything. However, why does it matter if 10 people want to be a gender studies major and it matters to them? Like, not everyone can be a lawyer, not everyone can be a doctor. There needs to be some people, and you know what, yeah, it sucks that some people do go to college and get a degree and then they end up not in a workforce for that, but I don't think that has to do with, like, college was a scam. It's more like maybe that just wasn't the path for them, or that life choice was just too hard to get for them. But some people are able to go to college and get a degree and use it, and that is super important, because imagine if no doctors went to college and just like, I think I can do it.
Well, of course, doctors and lawyers need credentialing, right? But
so
college. Well, less than 5% of all people that go to college end up studying medicine or legal. The vast majority go into soft social sciences, communications, and humanities. So you're in college, or have been, is that correct?
Yeah.
Are you forced to take classes that you think are a waste of time?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
You know what?
Hold on. So that they're taking your money and they're forcing you, that they're a waste of time. That's kind of scammy, right?
Oh, I think that some classes.
Ooh, some. So you have to plug on debt, right?
Depends.
Okay. Are you going?
What college you go to?
Are you going into debt?
No.
Okay, that's good.
I picked a school that actually offered me a scholarship.
Oh,
and
so
I
someone
picked a
else is
school
paying
that
for your
was good.
college.
Oh, I don't know. Depends on me. I mean, that's
No, I'm
a
sorry,
school
that's
that
fine.
wanted to give me an opportunity. But that's not what we're talking about.
Well,
we're talking
it is. No, we're
about
talking about
is
the scam element, right? So you
Right.
said that there are some classes that if students had to go into debt or had to pay for,
Right.
would not be a good use of their time. So it's not representing students well.
Well, do you think like high school is a scam then? Because I had to pay
Some-
for high
well-
school, but I'm not going to use AP US history in my psychology degree ever.
Well, I think AP US history is actually a really good use of time, knowing about your country and your history. And
Well, but I'm not going to use
Jefferson,
that in
Madison.
my career. That's
Well,
what we're
you
talking
use it
about in the
your-
career
in your
path
life.
for
Well,
college.
let's
the
go back to
career
what I
path.
said, right? We said traditional college, right?
Okay.
Four-year college. And what a scam is, or a majority of the
Right.
people that will go through the enterprise, the business, or the institution are not getting their time worth or their money worth. So therefore, I go back to my core contention,
Okay.
which is a majority of kids that exit college will not use their degree at all when they go to find a job.
But if you ask them, do you think college was a scam? I don't think majority of them are going to say yes. Some of them will. Some of them are
Well,
going to
not everyone who's being scammed actively knows they're being scammed.
But
People
it's
still
not-
buy erectile dysfunction drugs off the internet, and they get
Okay,
scammed.
that's their own,
People
like,
still,
personal choice,
people,
though.
Of course people have choices to be scammed. I'm not saying they don't have a choice. I'm making an observation analysis of the institution. For example, flying Spirit Airlines, kind of a scam.
Okay.
Should be shut down. There is some, yeah, kind of agree. There are some things in life we have to take a step back and like, oh, the consumer is not
But
being well served.
you want to
And
shut down a bunch of majors
I'm
in
not shutting- I've
colleges
never
that
said
you
that.
think are scams?
No, I never said that.
So what would your proposal be to
There's-
fix the scam
There
of
is no-
college?
There is no proposal. I'm simply, the contention is college is a scam.
So then what's the point of that statement?
To get you to agree.
But like, what would that do? Like, what do you want to fix in college
no,
that's
I-
going to
I-
help it not be
do-
a scam?
We can get to step interval 2 as long as you can agree that college is a scam.
No, because not for everyone. For me,
Well,
I'm
but a
using a
majority-
degree that's going to help me help people make better.
What are you studying?
Psychology and criminal justice.
Okay, so, and it's being paid for by somebody else, which is fine, that's good. So psychology and criminal justice, do you absolutely need to get a degree to be able to get into
Yes.
this? Like you do?
Yeah, I mean, like, I could, I guess, study it all on my own, but it's just like makes more sense to go and have all these experience. I'm getting like wonderful experiences, internships all through my college.
So the
that's
only
helping
people that
me
get
go through it.
internships
No,
go to
it's
college?
just that this is a pathway that's really helping me.
So you know there's 11 million jobs open in the country right now that don't require a college degree? Do
Okay,
you
then
think-
the people
let me
who
ask you a
want those
question.
jobs can go get those jobs.
Do
I
you
am not
think
one of
we
those
push
people.
too many kids into college?
No.
Okay, so the national graduation rate is 59%. If I asked the room, everyone would agree that they know some people that went to college that did not graduate,
Yeah.
right? So we're probably sending too many kids into this institution.
But if they might have been able to do it, then like, why is it not worth it to try and
Well,
to
because
push
you-
yourself to
they-
get a better
they might-
education and
well,
go further
leading
in
with
your
debt's
life?
a bad thing, right?
But some people are able to work through that, and it's like
Of course
an
some people are.
opportunity
But
thing.
when
it's
an
like a-
institution is multi-trillion dollars in scale, involves 23 million of our citizens every 4 years, and is not actually bettering the country. For example, if college was so great, we would see incomes going up for Gen Z and millennials. We'd see more people able to own homes. Kids wouldn't. I'm telling you, this is so ableist what you're doing, by the way. I'm telling you, right? Hello, what's your name?
Alizé.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so let me start by saying, well, first of all, you said we're sending too many kids to college. Who's sending them? Who's forcing them?
Guidance counselors, parents, community.
Are they forcing them? Are they
Well,
signing them up
hold on.
themselves?
Forcing, I never said forcing, but you can have nudging.
Okay.
And forcing are two different things. We also subsidize college through the federal government. So you guys get subsidized interest rates,
Right.
scholarships, and loans. So the taxpayer is nudging students and gently and sometimes forcefully pushing them into college. And you would agree it is an expectation if you grow up in a upper middle class home to go to college. You would agree with that. So
I-
there's a societal cultural push.
I didn't grow up in an upper middle class.
Okay, well, but would you see it from there? Would you see how that argument is correct?
I guess there might be a pressure, but no one's sending them. You're sending yourself.
Well, of course.
Or we're
it's-
all over the age of 18, right?
Right,
when
but
you're in college, so you're
let's-
sending yourself.
Right.
But that's besides the
But
point.
let's
That's
be
a different
honest.
point.
I mean, that's a silly argument. Yes, they're technically sending themselves. I was just at Arizona State University move-in. Everyone had their parents there. They were co-signing on loans. They were there helping pay for stuff. Parents, the ones that are still checking in. They're the ones that largely subsidize their lifestyle. Hey, mom, can you Venmo me $3,000 so that I can go out an extra night? Yes, of course, when you're 18 years old, you're the one signing on the dotted line. But there's enormous pressure and nudging and cultural expectation that students go to college.
Right. Okay. I think the problem here is that it's up to the person. You can't just go to college and expect to come out with a degree. You have to put the work in. You have to put the work in, you have to make connections, and some people might think college is just 4 years of partying and drinking and making friends, whatever, but you have to actually put the work in, and if you put the work in, you make connections, and you can find a job right outside of college.
Well, no, not doubting that you can't find a job. It's just that 52% of them get a job that doesn't require them to get the degree.
But most jobs offer incentive pay if you have a degree. And 86% of people with a degree get paid more than people with just a high school diploma.
That's only if you count the ones at the top 10% of income earners. So not if you count humanities, not if you count people that study in the social sciences. If you count medicine or you count law, that's absolutely correct. However, the vast majority of kids that go to college are not studying medicine, law, engineering, business, finance. They're studying communications, social sciences, or humanities, which are on the lower income ladder. So as I mentioned, we have 11 million job openings in this country right now that do not require a college degree. I'm guessing in this room that within 4 to 5 years, you guys would still be able to earn $80 to $100,000 a year, yes? You know that in states across the country and in cities, they're offering apprenticeships to become plumbers, welders, electricians. That doesn't require for your college degree. Entrance salary, $80,000 a year.
But again, 86% of people with a bachelor's degree earn more than people with a high school diploma. No, 86% of all people with a bachelor's degree.
But if you take out the top 10%, it's actually lower than the reason that number, the average, goes up is because the doctors and the engineers and the lawyers are the ones that bring that average so significantly up. But let me ask you a question. Do you think that there's any waste at all in the current college model?
Do I think there's any waste? I don't think we need all of it. Well, you have to start with your core classes. And it's like high school, you're taking the same classes as
So do you
high
think,
school.
like, for example, do you think that
I'm Emily. Nice to meet you.
Emily. Thank you.
Earlier said that about 5% of college students are going into fields of like medicine, law, and engineering.
Let me clarify.
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
as far as they're going to be able to get postgraduate degrees, so they will go all the way up and get their Juris Master, or they will end up passing the bar or becoming a doctor. Right.
Okay.
So it's easy to say doctors, lawyers,
Yeah.
but healthcare professionals, if you count nurses or people that work in healthcare, that number is closer to 20-25%.
Okay, so 5%. Who here has a doctor? Can you like raise your hand if you have a doctor?
Like a medical
doctor, yeah. Like a medical doctor. Yeah, you do. Okay. 5% is still a lot of people, right?
Of course, but
Yeah.
that means 95% might not need to exist at the institution.
I don't think that's the takeaway. Just because 5%, which is still millions of Americans.
But if you were to say, hey, we only have medical schools, only have legal, we can get rid of gender studies, get rid of. So what's the contention?
Well, gender studies is actually, if you look on like the pre-law track, gender studies is a pre-law track. If
Got
you're
it.
going to be a lawyer, you have to study gender studies and other social
That proves
cultural
my
studies.
point that college is a scam.
Why?
Why would a lawyer need to study gender studies? Shouldn't a lawyer
it's
know the law?
It's a social science. The law. You think the law isn't inadvertently affected by social, cultural, and gender
Of
norms?
course it is, but shouldn't they first know the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, the Federalist Papers?
We learned that in high school.
Okay, so what is Marbury versus Madison?
I haven't been in high school for a long time. I'm not trying to be a lawyer. Yeah.
So
I mean, high schools are like it's public high
What was
school.
Brown versus the Board of Education?
That's for desegregating schools. Yeah, which Project 2025 wants to like defund the
Right.
Department of
So who
Education.
wrote the
So
Consti-
like
who wrote the Constitution?
founding fathers, 1778. I don't know.
It wasn't 1778.
I don't know. Yeah.
You don't know?
No.
Okay. Well, this is the point: is that you don't learn it in high school. You don't even learn it in undergraduate, and our law school's not learning it. So maybe.
Well, I'm not in law school.
No, the point is that you were saying that they already learned it, and they don't. I don't want this to be a pop quiz or trivia. I didn't go to college, and I'm asking you very basic civic questions, and you're paying to go to college, and you can't answer.
That's so fair, but I think
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, I have a question. Is church a scam?
No, because church is honoring the divine and the eternal and the good and the true and the beautiful. Is college?
But it deceives people because you give a promise of
Well, hold on.
everlasting life, which you don't actually get because Christianity is contradictory logically speaking.
Do you want to get into a theological debate, or are we going to talk
Absolutely.
about college? Because I completely disagree. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and we will have eternal life.
Okay, so how, if there is a perfect being that created the world, how could we exist in an imperfect world?
I'm
an
happy to
imperfect
have
creation?
this discussion. Can we go back to college, though? Because do you think, because that's a little bit of a red herring and a little bit of a rabbit hole. Tell me what that has to do with college being a scam.
Well, I do think college can be a scam for certain people. I don't think it's a
Okay,
scam
so
for
we
everyone.
agree.
though.
So-
For people like me, college was very beneficial for me.
For sure.
I
Who
asking
is
you,
it a
I'm
scam,
asking
though?
you, based upon your definition of a scam, do you consider the Christian church a scam?
Of course not. It's giving people eternal life and teaches them
Wait,
goodness.
but if Christianity
and,
is false, then that's a deception.
Okay, but you think it's false. I don't. We can agree to disagree. Also,
I'm not agreeing to disagree on that.
but we're not talking about the church. We're talking about college, right? So again, also people are not paying to go to church, are
But it's
they?
a reductio ad absurdum. Do you know what that is?
Ask the question.
What's a reductio ad absurdum?
That's a Latin term that means reducing down to the lowest common belief. Correct?
Yeah, so I'm taking.
Am I right? I didn't go to college. I knew that.
I'm taking your particular position.
Let
that
me ask you a question without you interrupting me. Do you pay to go to church?
No, I don't. Some people do.
Hold on.
They're forced to pay based upon their denomination.
And today, do you pay to go to church?
Depending on the church.
Do you have to go to debt to go to church?
In some circumstances, people do because they have to give up 10% of their income to be able to do that, which people can't afford. Well, they're LDS. You understand that a lot of LDS churches specifically require 10%.
Yeah, they don't require it. And what you're
They
talking
do in plenty of places.
Well, you're asking mainline Christian.
Isn't there stigmatization if you don't do that?
Okay, you're good at interrupting, not good at answering.
Well, you haven't answered any of my questions yet.
I was going to say, no, church is not a scam. Church is the bride of Christ. College is a scam. And college is people are going into debt. They're paying a lot of money. But I want to ask you a question. You said it's a scam for some people. Who's it a scam for?
Yeah, for people who specifically aren't ever going to use it, never use any of the knowledge
So
that they retain from
52%.
it. Well, you say 52%. I don't think you can grant a qualify 52% of people don't do that.
What number would you say?
For example, my job, that's not going to be recommended as an economics degree. Most economics majors are going to go into TikTok debating online. But I use the information that I learned in college in my job on a daily basis. So I still use relevant qualities that are then used in my job later on.
What percentage of kids that go to college are being scammed?
I don't think anyone knows that.
Can you
Because it's
guess?
dependent upon an individual. I have no clue.
Shouldn't we try to find out?
Well, if you'd like to find some empirics on that, I'd love to see it.
I just did. So
Well,
41
wait, that's not a source.
Well, the Department of Education is a source.
No, the Department of Education doesn't say 41% of people it was a scam for,
Hold
or
on.
that they didn't use any of the information they learned in college.
You are using.
So are you saying none of them used any of the information in
Can I
college?
say 3 words without you interrupting me?
Do any of them
How
use
about
the information
4?
later on?
Can I say 5 words without interrupting
Well, you've
me?
interrupted me multiple times.
So, since you say college is a scam for some people, it's a ballpark. For the kids that do not graduate, 41% that ended up going and not graduating, were they scammed?
No, just because you go and pay for a particular thing, but then you don't follow through with it, doesn't mean you were scammed.
Maybe they were
You
misled.
decided to pay for it. Oh, you could say some people are misled.
Do you
Some
think
people are
that every-
stigmatized into these things.
do you think
but
that
some people are misled in the church?
Do you
And you
think-
never answered my question on that because you're trying to
I did.
take that time down so that you don't have to answer the question
Well,
about
hold on.
Christianity because you know your worldview looks terrible.
Well, what about Christianity do you want me to answer? We're talking
Well, I think it's
about college.
false. Or because I was saying,
Okay.
is church a scam? If church is a scam, that'd be predicated off of the idea that you're deceived into believing that there's everlasting life,
Okay, but you
specifically from
believe that
Christianity.
again.
So Christianity has to be true. So can you grant that? What's the argument?
Christianity is true. Did the resurrection?
What's the argument?
You're gonna let me finish 3 words in a row?
Appreciate it.
Okay. Did the resurrection happen?
I don't think the resurrection occurred.
Okay, I disagree.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. A perfect creator, is it possible for them to not desire something imperfect?
A perfect is a perfect creator. I'm sorry, what?
There's a perfect creator that desires everything that's just perfect. How can they desire something imperfect? Flawed.
Well, because maybe they want to get to know themselves. Maybe they want to see their own creation. Maybe they love
They
their
want to get to know them?
Can I
He's
fini-
all-knowing.
Can I finish talking here? Okay. Maybe because God loved the world so much that his creation, which rebelled against him, given agency and free will, rebelled against them, then got eternal life, what we actually deserve, and then sent his son on a rescue mission to save us from that. The church is the bride of Christ, will save us from damnation that we deserve. College is far from the bride of America. It's currently scamming the youth of this country and sending them into oblivion.
Didn't answer the question.
I did.
No, you didn't say how they could desire something imperfect.
Well, God can
We'll
do
talk
anything.
about that later. Don't
God
worry.
can do anything, so.
Even something logically contradictory.
No, it's not logically contradictory.
To desire something imperfect.
Can an unstoppable object hit a immovable force?
Hey, before we go any further, we want to take a moment to say thanks so much to Straight Arrow News for powering the fact checks in this video.
together.